Good afternoon. It is Wednesday night in Israel now, and we have once again been reminded of the relentless terror we face. Today, six innocent people were injured, two of them still in critical condition, in a brutal mass stabbing attack in the city of Hadera, a little bit south of Haifa. In Kiryat Shmona, Hezbollah's rockets murdered a man who was simply walking their dog. And yet, even as Hezbollah continues their murderous campaign, senior Hezbollah officials have the audacity to demand that Israel cease fire. Let me be clear about that. No one should mistake the arrogance of these terrorists for diplomacy. Hezbollah calls for a ceasefire while simultaneously murdering Israeli civilians with their rockets. If Hezbollah wants the situation to escalate, it's very simple. They have to do two things. First, they must immediately stop shelling our civilian communities. Second, Hezbollah must withdraw to the north of the Litani River in accordance with UN Resolution 1701, which was adopted here in the Security Council in 2006. Until that happens, Israel will continue our operations to degrade Hezbollah's terror network. We found a lot of weapons in the bunkers next to our border, and we will do whatever it takes to secure our people and enable the 70,000 displaced Israelis to return home safely. Thank you very much.
Ambassador?
Ambassador, thank you. It's Pamela Falk from U.S. News and World Report. First, you mentioned 1701. Do you believe that that is still, 18 years after, with a lot of violations, the way to move forward? And two, are there any ceasefire talks going on?
So first, indeed, we believe in the language of Resolution 1701, but not in the implementation. Because what we have seen that it was very hard to enforce. So basically, if Hezbollah terrorists will be north of the Litani River, and you're going to have the president of the Lebanese army and UNIFIL, I think we should think about how to enforce it. But overall, we said it clearly, that's the goal of our operation. And I think we have heard similar voices from members of the Security Council.
And on ceasefire talks?
So as I mentioned earlier, you don't need to talk about ceasefire. Hezbollah should stop targeting Israel. That's it. And I want to remind everybody that it started on October 8th, the attacks against Israel, without any provocation from Israel.
Thank you.
Ambassador, hi, Margaret Bashir, Voice of America. Janine Hennis-Pleshert, the Special Coordinator for Lebanon, was briefing us about an hour ago. And about the Lebanon, the Beirut airport, she said that Israel had said that they have no intention of bombing it or making it inoperable. Can you just confirm that to us?
I would say that. I think the Lebanese government should take serious steps in stopping Hezbollah. You know that Hezbollah using this airport and other civilian facilities to transfer weapons, and they're putting many Lebanese at risk. I will not get into specifics, but we are targeting terrorists. We are not targeting civilians. But many times Hezbollah are taking advantage of the situation. And I think there is an opportunity today for the Lebanese people and the Lebanese government to seize the opportunity to take control of what's happening today in Lebanon.
So can I just follow that up, please? Because many governments are doing evacuation flights or helping their nationals to leave Lebanon. Can you reassure them that they, from your end, will be safe if they are traveling on the roads to the airport or in the civilian airport?
So I said it, we are not targeting civilians, but at the same time, if we will find Hezbollah activities or intention to launch rockets into Israel, we will do what any other country will do about it.
Ambassador, the UN Special Coordinator also spoke about the need for some sort of enforcement mechanism for 1701. What does enforcement of that resolution look like to Israel? What's needed?
So I will speak about it tomorrow. When I have another Security Council tomorrow at 3 p.m. But I think we have to work about the mechanism and make sure that, we are not going to talk again in 6 months that Hezbollah will come back to our fence. So I think we have no desire to stay in Lebanon. And I think the only troops that can do that will be the Lebanese military and UNIFIL. But they need to have the strength, the power, and the ability to ensure that Hezbollah is not coming back to the same places. And I cannot go into detail, but what we found, including tunnels and a lot of infrastructure on the border, it proved that both UNIFIL and the Lebanese army were not effective in the last 18 years.
So do you think the Security Council needs to give UN peacekeepers clearer rules to enforce, to do their job?
I think we are not there yet, but once we will be able to reach the position that Hezbollah is not there, UNIFIL presence should be discussed, enforced, and also the Lebanese military.
Ambassador, could we just ask you about Netanyahu's call with President Biden? Can you give us any sort of readout? How close is Israel to having decided what its targets will be vis-a-vis Iran, and when that might happen?
So the readout will come out shortly of the call, but it was a positive call, and we appreciate the support of the US. And as we stated earlier, Israel will retaliate for the attack, and I want to make it clear, it was the largest attack in history, what we experienced last week coming from Iran. We will choose the locations. It will be painful for the Iranian regime. Thank you very much.